Nick, what did the effort mean to you tonight here?
Oh, it was a big win at home, especially coming off a tough trip for the boys. I thought we played patient, we played smart, but we played aggressive at the same time too. And that first goal is huge for us. I think it just kind of set the tone in the game for finding a way, even if you're not feeling 100%, like the energy seemed to be. I think it just allowed us to have that little, the cushion to allow our game to kind of, really start to take over in the second half. And I was really proud of the group.
And it meant you didn't have to chase the game. Against this type of team, how important is that?
Well, look at the difference of the game. I mean, they had to chase it and we didn't. And we got to tighten up more and they take more chances, open themselves up more, and we get to score some goals. So, I hope it's a good lesson for a lot of guys in here that you play that kind of hockey this time of year. You're going to have a lot of success, and we got to keep it going.
And you can't protect a 1-0 lead in this league in the third period. The effort in the third period, I thought, to add more was pretty important.
Oh, it's big, huge. I mean, that's what we got. That goal by Bread, that was a big goal for us at the time. And to find a way to get that second one, and then we just started to take off from there. But that's what I talked about. The patience can never take away from your aggressiveness. And I thought we had a really good balance of both, and it was fun.
What are the emotions like for you, Nick, to be back out there with your buddies tonight?
Yeah, it's the best feeling ever. I said my son worked hard enough so I could get back out there, and so at least I could do was work my ass off for him. So, it's I'm going to go back now and try to see him. But it meant a lot to me for sure, and especially getting the win.
Nick, shot
goal though.
shot blocking and breaking up passes aren't necessarily glamorous things, but they're effective things to get wins, especially at this time of the year. I thought you guys were great at that tonight.
Yeah, there were some huge blocks and diving plays in front of our net to keep them at bay, and you need that. You need that at this time of the year, and it's so crucial. I think it just lifts your bench. It's amazing what a block shot or a good defensive play does, and you get going the other way. And it's almost as important as scoring a goal, and especially this time of year. So it's nice to see guys contribute everywhere tonight, and I hope the guys are feeling good about the way we're playing right now.
Yeah, and how nice is it you've set it up now, right, for Thursday night. The next game is coming. As you go one at a time, this next one is perhaps the biggest one.
Yeah, it's fun. I mean, that's what you want this time of year, so we're looking forward to it. I think every game is do or die for us at this point, so it doesn't matter who we're playing, but obviously extra juice with the team that's right there neck and neck with us, and we got to come out with the same effort we did today, and I'm fully confident that we'll have a great night and have a lot of fun doing it.
That is Blue Jackets captain Nick Foligno, and Oliver Bjorkstrand is over here. Let's grab Boone Jenner. How do you always end up off to the side where you're kind of lurking in this room?
It's too big of a scrum there by Nick, so I couldn't
got to move you away from Nick with your stall, right?
Exactly.
Boone, this one tonight, this was blue-collar, hard effort. This is, maybe you can argue that at points after the trade deadline, you guys got away from the blue-collar and tried to go with too much skill, but it's back here in these last couple of games. Do you agree?
Yeah, I think so. I think we're just focusing more away from the puck, and off that, you're going to get your chances, and we're a skilled team from there. And I thought we did a good job just staying with it tonight. They do a good job at checking, but we just stayed above them, stayed with our checking, and our chances came off that.
When you're blocking shots like you were tonight and breaking up passes, do you get to a point where even if you see them have a good chance, you're confident somebody's going to be there to make that play because you've just watched it happen all night long?
Well, yeah, that's the type of efforts you need at this time of year to win. And you can see guys selling out to block shots. Savvy, Kooks in the third, just off the top of my head, but everyone was willing to do it.
Your line is producing right now, and I know Bjorkstrand scored in the last couple of games, but I want to ask you about Alexander Wenberg and the contributions he's making in the little plays he's making on your line and what it means to you guys.
Yeah, it's huge. I think he's, on that goal, for instance, it doesn't happen without his forecheck keeping that puck in on the wall. Created that battle, and Borky got the shot off it. So the little plays like that, that's the difference, and I think he's doing a good job with that.
And the power play goal, you made some huge plays on that one just to create and keep it alive and finally give Dzingel a chance to score.
Yeah, it was just Borky brought it in, a little drop past me, back to Z, and he found Z with a great shot. So that was a big goal to get us on the board.
John, considering the circumstances, that coming back from the West Coast, playing the team you were playing, how important was it for you to find sort of a balance between aggression and patience, and do you think you found the perfect measure against them tonight?
That's a hard game for our team to play, coming off 11 days and a few time zones, and you don't have sometimes you have the 2 days. Yeah. We just had the one. Patience, it was a very important part of playing against the Islanders. You have to have patience. I just liked how we checked. We took what they gave us. First 10 minutes, I don't think we had legs. We really had trip legs at that time. But then the second half of the first period, I thought we started playing better. Yeah, that's why that team is so good, is because they're defense first, and they just wait for you to get frustrated. We didn't get frustrated. Even though it was ugly at times, we didn't get frustrated.
John, do players get a psychological lift from seeing a guy break through their own personal drought, or do you think players lose track of that kind of thing when they're out there on the ice? But PLD, last game, Panarin breaking through tonight, do you think that gives them an extra lift or no?
Well, I think they're happy for the guy. That's been pretty well chronicled. That line has struggled, but they're beginning to play better. I don't know. I don't think so. I think they're more concerned about their game. And quite honestly, I want them concerned about their game. But I'm sure they're happy for the person. Good to see Brett get on the board tonight. Cam gets on the board, albeit an empty netter. It doesn't matter. It helps confidence. So hopefully we can keep on getting better.
John, when the defense or when the offense is searching for a second goal and your defense is playing like that, just what did you think of your defense during that stretch?
Yeah, I thought we checked. I thought we were both. That's one of the best checking teams in the league. I thought we were right with them tonight. It was a game of chess a bit as far as who's going to blink first, as far as trying to get too anxious or frustrated. And I just really like how used the whole bench. I thought everybody contributed in just trying to play the game. I think you want to play a more exciting game. It just doesn't happen against that team. And that's what we've talked about throughout the game. It's not going to be exciting. And you can't try to make it exciting because that's when there's a turnover and it's in the back of your net. So I thought our mindset was good right from the get-go. We finally got our legs about the 10-minute mark of the first period, and I thought we played really well.
How much does getting that first goal feed into everything you're talking about in terms of being able to stay patient, being able to afford to stay patient?
Yeah, when we've played the Islanders this year, they score the first goal. It's tough to crawl back in it against them because they check so well. We were fortunate to get the first one on our power play tonight, and we're still. It may not look it, but we're still trying to get the second one. We have our foot in the gas. It's just hard to get through some of their checking, and yeah, if we get a break, we get Brett to score a goal, and which was really big. And yeah, we're going to have to learn to play that way, because if we're fortunate enough to keep on banging away here and get in, that's where a lot of minutes of playoff hockey is going to be like.
John, David Savard has been noticeable to me the last few games. How would you describe his contribution on the back end? He's not a player we really talk about a lot. Yeah,
he was involved. I think we had 20 scoring chances against Vancouver. He was involved in 6 of them. But where I see his improvement is certain times this year where he has struggled, it's just that split second he's not closing someone out defensively. He just looks a little bit quicker. I'm not sure if he is, but I think you get that through anticipating, and that's a skill. We always talk about anticipating, and I think he's really reading plays well, and he's involved in a lot of the plays underneath the hash mark as far as not letting them get to the net.
John, do you feel like whatever happens over these last 6 that your team is now looks like it's going to leave it all out in the ice coming down the stretch?
Yeah, I didn't doubt that. I didn't doubt that when we were losing games. We have a good group of guys. The Edmonton game in Edmonton, I don't know. And as I said prior to the game, I didn't ask any questions. I don't even want to know. But I do think we have a group of guys that have become closer. I think the trip, especially the couple of days in Vancouver, helped us. Having a couple of days in between, we had some meetings. I thought we had a really good practice in Vancouver where really we don't have much practice time. We don't have much the rest of the year. So yeah, you win a couple of games and you win them the way we did. I thought we played really well in Van. It was more wide open, but we found a way to win a different way here. That helps as far as just the tightness of the group and understanding what we have to do to win hockey games.
Second straight shutout for Bob. Do you get a sense of, what's your sense of how he's settling in, how he's playing right now?
Well, Bob's been good for a while. I think the biggest part of tonight's game is when we couldn't get our legs the first 10 minutes, Bob made 2 or 3 really good saves, or they score the first goal. He made a couple of really good saves there. He wasn't he wasn't busy all night long, but he had some difficult saves to make. He told me a couple weeks ago that he is good mentally, he's good physically. He's been good for quite a while here, and he's going to have to keep on being better, because we've got to get on his shoulders as we keep on going through these last half dozen games.
John, you know what Nick brings on the ice, but having him back for this team, he got the Kepi after the game. Emotionally, what it mean to this team?
Did he get it?
Yeah.
Yeah, good. Yeah. I like the line, Dave. With Nick there and Nasher and Doobie, I used it primarily. Well, not primarily. I didn't give him a lot of offensive zone faceoffs, but they did a lot of work in the defensive zone. Doobie won a ton of faceoffs. In this game here, they fall right into play as far as all the checking that was going on. I think Nasher's game is elevated here the past month or so, and put Nick there, more veteran guy. I thought Hanny played really well in Van, but Nick there brings a little bit different look as far as some of the things he can do. I like the situations they were put in. They were very good tonight.
John, what's just your sense of how high the confidence now after this game going into Thursday's game?
I don't know. I mean, I don't even go in and see them after the game. They don't want me in there. So they should feel good about themselves. But the important thing is we got a team that's streaking coming in here in Montreal. We're keeping everybody out of the building tomorrow. It's been a long trip, and then coming right back and playing. They should be confident, but I trust that they're going to keep it level here, because we won a couple games, but we haven't gained on Montreal. Gained a point the other night, didn't gain tonight, so we got to keep on banging away here.
It looked like kind of an awkward twist by Werenski there at center ice. Do you have any idea if that's serious or not?
Haven't talked to the trainers. Have not. Missed the second half of the third period, but I haven't talked to the trainers.
About 10, 15 games ago, after Murr went out, there was a sense of still trying to figure out how defensively things were going to sort out. Do you like the way the team has been playing defensively since then? You think it's kind of settled in? Because I think the goals against numbers last 10 or 15 games have been pretty solid.
Yeah, and Bob and Corpy too have a little bit to do with that. Yeah, as I've always said, I don't think switching guys and trying to find pairs should confuse players. I like what Kooks has done here the past three of his games. He carried the puck really well tonight. The guy that sits out, Harry, he's played well. And it's not just the back end, it's the group. This time of year, when you get into the last quarter of the season, you got to check. And because if you're not checking now and you do get in, you just don't ramp that up, and that's an important part of playoff hockey. Thanks. Thank you.
Well, I'll tell you, the Blue Jackets finally tried a structured hockey game, and their goaltender did a great job. But what I loved the most was they took advantage of opportunities. They got a free power play earlier in the game. It was a too-many-minute advantage for the Islanders. The Blue Jackets took full advantage and scored a goal in the power play. All right? And then they took advantage and waited and waited and waited. And the Islanders give away a puck, and Panarin gets on a breakaway, and he puts it in the back of the net. So those were things that were given to them, and they took them and made sure they cashed them in. Too many times this year we've sat here and it's been like, oh, they had so many chances. They had so many posts. That season is over. These guys took advantage of opportunity. I really think that's the story of the game, with the structure and the sensational saves by Sergei Bobrovsky. Just outstanding. And I like what you did there with the standings.
Yeah, it's going to change.
But
you're right there.
How tight it is.
That's right. You're right there. And if you win on Thursday, you're going into that spot.
Well, it also shows you how big tonight was.
Yes.
Because you lose tonight, well, forget about it. I mean, you know where you're at. They won. They won.